Hello mga ka-gender. Okay, as we are waiting for episode 6 of Gameboys that will be released tomorrow, let me just do a quick analysis of what is Kai's sexual orientation, because some of you are actually asking me about this, and its contrast to Pearl's sexual orientation as we have seen in the previous episodes. Okay, but before that, uh, some of you actually commented that I look like Terrence. I am flattered, and at the same time I am also threatened because Terrence is way handsome than me. Marami po talaga siyang paligo. Okay, he's way ahead. Okay. And at the same time, I'm threatened kasi a lot of you are pissed off with his character. So you might be projecting your anger towards me instead of him. So anyway, so I'm here to talk about sexual orientation. So bago tayo pumunta kay Kai, what is sexual orientation? Ang sexual orientation ay parte ng iyong pagkatao. Okay? Sexual orientation is the enduring pattern of your physical and or romantic attraction to another person. Okay? So ito yung nararamdaman natin. Okay? Attraction in a sense na nagkakagusto ka sexually or physically, okay? Or pwede ding emotionally or romantically. Sexual orientation is part of your sexuality, ng pagkabuuan ng iyong sexualidad. Sexual orientation has different categories. Okay? And some of those categories we have heard and we already knew. One is, the most common of them all is heterosexuality. Ibig sabihin ng heterosexuality is kung kanino na-attract ka to the opposite sex. Okay? And then next, bisexuality. You are attracted, okay, either romantically or physically to both sexes, okay, or either. And then the third one is homosexuality. You are attracted to the same sex. Okay? And then there are other two more sexual orientations that we have not talked about. Okay? And one of them is pansexuality. Ibig sabihin nun, you are attracted to another person, okay, regardless of their sexual orientation and gender identity. Sexuality, ibig sabihin nun, you are not experiencing sexual attraction to another being, but you may experience romantic attraction. Okay? So, quickly, those are the categories. And I'll explain them further in the next videos that I'm going to upload. Now, let's go to Kai. Okay? So, Kai is a very interesting character because we see Kai is struggling very hard to determine himself. During the quarantine, we are all stuck at home, okay, and so is he. So, and then suddenly Gabriel came into the scene, and that's where certain frictions, okay, happened, and then afterwards, with the consistency of Gabriel, okay, Kai starts to let loose, okay, of his emotions. He's starting to crumble the walls that he have. Okay. So, ano ngayon ang tingin ng publiko kay Kai? Ano ngayon ang kanyang sexual orientation? The answer to that is he's part of the letter Q in the LGBTQIA. Okay. Q stands for queer or questioning. Okay. And I'd refer to the second word, which is questioning. So he's still questioning his sexual orientation. He's still in the process of knowing himself. Okay, as you can see in his facial expressions, the way he's trying to deny his attraction to Gabriel, the way he's processing these things. So he's still questioning himself. Okay, hindi pa tayo sure, or hindi pa din siya sure kung ano talaga yung kanyang sexual orientation. So, hindi natin mako-confirm nor ma-deny kung siya ba talaga ay bisexual or siya ba ay homosexual. Okay? So, siguro at the most, pwede nating masabi na baka bi-curious siya. Okay? So, from a heterosexual viewpoint, so nagkaroon siya ngayon ng pagkakataon to explore being attracted to the same sex. Okay, so maaring doon magiging curious siya, no, of what is going to happen if I'm going to be attracted to another man. Okay, so maaring bi-curious siya, maaari. Okay, the reason why I'm saying this is because identifying sexual orientation and gender identity is always a personal journey. Okay? And ibig sabihin po nito, no one will be able to identify this for you. Ikaw lamang ang mag-identify niyan. Wala nang iba. Okay? And as long as hindi ka pa comfortable with your sexual orientation, hindi ka pa ganun ka sure with your sexual orientation and with your gender identity, it is okay for you to explore and understand yourself more, and it will come a time later that you are more comfortable in talking to people, friends about it. But if you are not comfortable talking about it because you're still processing all these fears, etc., okay, it is understandable. Dahil hindi po madali ang, hindi madaling magsabi ng, o magkwento ng mga ganitong bagay. Dahil nga, a lot of people do not still understand completely what sexual orientation and gender identity is. Okay? Now, this leads us to Pearl. Okay? Pearl, on the other hand, has exhibited rather, explicit bisexual tendencies. So, when she tried that love calculate, she tried it with Alvin and later on she tried it with Cairo and Gray. And that's an indication of bisexuality. Okay. Again, hindi rin natin to ma-sure dahil again, hindi rin naman niya sinabi explicitly kung siya bisexual or not. But okay, with what we saw in those videos, so we can presume, okay, and or assume na she is bisexual. Okay, so ano ngayon ang contrast nilang dalawa? Okay, so there's a possibility kasi that Kai might be bisexual, similar to Pearl. Okay, in the Philippines, okay, bisexual femmes are let's say they're more accepted, okay? Not recognized, compared to bisexual men. Okay? Bisexual men in the Philippines are somewhat demonized especially by the gay community, because we heard a lot of those words na buy now, gay later, di naman totoong silahis yan, bakla talaga yan, etc. Well, there's some truth in that, no? Some gay men, closeted gay men, who would rather use the word bisexual compared to using the word gay because they're not comfortable with it, and because there are a lot of stigma that's still being associated with the word bakla, so they opt to use the word bi. Okay, and this paints a very confusing picture to the public, okay, and to a lot of people because there are real bisexual males, okay, in the Philippines, okay, and they are being put in a place of they're being hard to understand. They don't know where to place themselves. Another thing that you need to know is what we call gender fluidity. Okay, as we go and explore ourselves, okay, you will find out that sexual orientation and gender identity is not as fixated as it is when you were born. Okay? Nung pinanganak ka, as you grow older, you start to, get to know yourself more, who are you attracted with, and what you see yourself, if you are a man or a woman, or neither of the two, okay? Or are either, or a mixture of both. Okay? So that's a process that you need to take, okay, in getting to know yourself. And in that life journey, okay, for some, they knew it quite early in their life, okay, as early as 5-6 years old. The others actually took them quite a long time to determine. Late adolescence, some of you actually were able to get at peace with yourself at around adult life, late in life. So ito yung lagi kong sinasabi, that sexual orientation and gender identity is a personal journey. No one will dictate to you who you are, okay, and what you feel. Okay. It is only you who can determine that. So if you're a friend of this person and you think that this person might not be heterosexual, this person might be gay or bisexual, or somewhere in between, or you really don't know, what can we do about it? Well, the answer to that is give that person space, okay, and give that person time to understand himself or herself, okay, or themselves more about it, okay. Sometimes our presence as a person and as a friend is what is important, okay, rather than giving our opinions about it, okay. So you just give them time to actually explore these things, but do let them know that you are there to support all the way, and whatever that they come up with in identifying themselves, you are there with them in the process, and that you will never leave them. That's what a good friend is. All right, so that's it for today, and I'm going to see you in Gameboys episode 6. So let's see what's going to happen next, and I'll see you. If you like what I did in this analysis, comment, okay, like, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.
Yeah.